Hey guys, welcome back to RC Legends, and as always, thank you for stopping by. So, I've got a little bit of a beast to show you today. A 1/8 scale Team Associated race car. So, before we get into this, I'll just put a little bit of meat on the bone how this got to me. It's not mine. So a massive thank you and shout out to my good friend Dennis. This is the first time I've had one of Dennis's cars on this channel, but if you follow me on Tamiya Legends, you'll have probably seen 4, maybe 5 cars of Dennis's, mainly TRFs that he races, which he allows me. So basically what happens is, Dennis is a couple of hours away from me, but Ken, his brother, is literally 10 minutes away from me. So when Ken goes to visit Dennis, Dennis gives him a car, Ken brings it back, I go collect it from Ken, bring it here, allows me to make a video, I drop it back off at Ken's, and then it gets back to Dennis's. So it's a fantastic arrangement, and I'm really appreciative. Oh my goodness, I'll put my teeth back in. It's awesome because it allows me to show cars on the channel that I wouldn't have in my collection. So it's awesome. So a massive thank you to Dennis and Ken. So yes, what we have here is Dennis's, and I hope I get this code correct. So this is a Team Associated B3.1E. I believe it's from about 2017. The E denotes it's full electric because the 1/8 stuff started as nitro. So this car is bought full electric. So it's got all the electrics in it. It's grubby as hell because Dennis races it. No shelf queens for Dennis. And if you've not seen a 1/8 scale car before, you're in for a treat with this thing because they're huge. They're absolutely huge and heavy. So yeah, in this video, what I want to do is just show you this car. I'll show you the electrics in it. He even kindly sent the battery with it, which is a 4S battery, just so I could see it and sort of gauge the overall weight, because the weight in these things is pretty phenomenal if you've not seen one. And also, I'm going to take the opportunity, especially on this channel, to show you my 1/8 car, because if you don't follow me on Tamiya Legends and you only follow me here, then you won't know that I have a brand new built TRF801X, which was a nitro car, and it's also and it's now fitted with an aftermarket e-conversion kit. No electrics in it, but we'll talk about that because anyway, it'd be nice to see them both together as well, and it's always nice for me to dig my car out. And I've also got a couple of hop-ups for it that arrived, which I want to give 2 shout-outs for, which would be really cool. So yeah, let's talking. I think the first thing to do is bring a camera over, and we'll have a look at this thing because there's a lot to look at, I'll tell you that. Anyway, let's bring a camera over. Right, let's get into this. So you are kind of looking at it more or less at the same time I am, because I've not even taken the top off. So yeah, huge thing, absolutely huge. And in fact, just so we can appreciate the size of it, let me just get a 1/10 buggy. Right then, I've just dug out my Nico Dandy Dash. Now that is quite a bulky 1/10 car. That's quite a big car. So I'm seeing this through the screen as you are. And the 1/8 doesn't look massively bigger, but if I sort of stand up and show you it like this, you kind of now get to appreciate just the difference in size. And bear in mind, the Dandy Dash is a big old 1/10 RC car. So yeah, that's quite a difference, isn't it? Sorry. Although from that angle it doesn't look that much bigger, funny enough. Right, and then from that angle, it's funny, as I said, when I saw it, first of all, I thought, oh god, it's pretty ugly, but it does kind of grow on you. It is what it is with these 1/8 scale, that you don't really seem to get really nice streamlined bodies with them. But yeah, this one is growing on me. I've just dug out a 1/10 rear wheel, just to give you some kind of indication of the size difference. That is pretty insane, isn't it? Let's put it there. So yeah, just a little bit bigger. It's the size of these things that blow you away. Right, let's whiz the top off. So I've got to be honest, I am quite a big fan of how the 1/8 electric chassis look. Now, I am going to show you my TRF801X at the side of this, but so when I took the top off, the first thing I noticed is just how similar it is. Now, I don't know if all 1/8 buggies are like that, and they all basically share the same very similarities in the chassis. But yeah, big flat metal chassis, big substantial metal towers, huge shocks, centre gearbox unit. Looking at this, it's sealed. I'm thinking it's probably got a centre diff on this one, but we'll get into that. But then you see the size of the motor and the speedo, and it has braces as well. Anyway, I'll get the camera a little bit higher so you can see this. Right, so it's running a hobby wing. What did he say? 1900 kV brushless motor. Oh, it's huge. It probably won't look that big on camera, but look at the size of the speedo. That is insane. That is absolutely nuts. There's no markings on the servo, but I can't tell what that is. But it feels rather nice, I have to say. All that suspension travel. That is nuts. That really isn't. So obviously you got then your battery box here. So looking, let me see if I just move the camera back slightly. I'm just curious if it is a centre diff. So front end. So the front end just got a normal diff on it. Yeah, I can see it turning. So if I hold two back wheels down, in fact if I just put that wheel, so all three wheels touching, yeah, you see the centre diff working. Cool. That's interesting. So there's no like front one ways or anything on it. Oh, nearly knocked the camera over. Back end, yeah, bog standard differential, and then overall, but with centre diff. Yeah, the suspension travel is absolutely insane. Now, again, if you've never seen a 1/8, the first thing that me it stands out is the weight in them. I don't know what that weighs, but that is bloody heavy, and that hasn't even got the battery in yet. In fact, just on that, let me get the battery out because they sent it with it. Oh my goodness, look at the size of the battery. Damn, 5,200 milliamp, 50C, 14.6, 4S battery. Oh my god, that's a chunk of a thing, isn't it? Oh my goodness. It's actually the battery, it's got weight to it, but it's not as heavy as I'm kind of maybe expected. Let's just sit that in the car, see how it looks. So yeah, as you can imagine, the 4S battery actually takes a big chunk of space up in that car. That's incredible. So what's that? Oh my god. It's, for me, and I know this is stupid talking about weights without actually weighing it and just doing it on this video, but it's mind-blowing that these things are that quick, handle that well, can jump so high and long and not get damaged. I understand it's a really substantial thing, but I think when you actually get it in your hands and you go, alright, so that thing's doing, I don't know, 30, 35 miles an hour. If that hit anything, that's going to do a ton of damage. Crazy. Oh my god, it really is. It's I'm not like bigging it up on the weight issue. It's just, it's insane. So it just droops on its own. So there's no like settings. So that's, you know, it's got a ton of clearance. But obviously, if you just let it drop, that's where it settles. And I'm gonna say that's probably close to 2 inch of clearance with the full electrics in, which is so cool. Damn, what a thing. Let's see what else I can show you. So looking at the front end, you see all this thing here. I don't know what you call it on the hub. Big, huge Then these shocks, which are just insane. Damn, so much travel. Yeah, very cool. And then the back end, I had to take the camera off the tripod. Just look at the size of them shocks to my thumb. Oh my goodness. I don't get tired of looking at things like this. Even though I don't kind of want one, or I've got no sort of visions of ever getting into racing one, but there's definitely something cool, and I hope it's coming across on camera and you guys and girls are sort of having the same reaction. There's something very cool about actually seeing something like this close up. Anyway, what I'll do now is I'll take the battery back out of this and I'll go dig out my TRF801, which is now an E because it's had the E conversion on it, just to show you it, and then we'll put the two chassis side by side. And here's my beast that's never seen a day of anger in its life, but maybe it should. So again, this is a TRF801X 1/8 off-road competition buggy. Tamiya only ever did this as nitro, although they did race this as electric. It was Tamiya USA only for some reason, because obviously 1/8 scale's massive in South America, North America, I apologise. But yeah, it just never took off, which is such a shame. But as you see, it has got the conversion kit in it. Jeez, even this thing's so bloody heavy. It's crazy the amount of suspension travel. What do you think to the looks of it? I don't want to take over, this is Dennis's video, I know, but now I've got this out and looking at it. This is professionally painted body shell I had done, which is the actual Tamiya box art for this particular car. Yeah, super cool, blue bling everywhere, and I'll show you some blue bling I've just added, or I added when I got it, I should say. And that's mine without the body on. The obvious thing you might look at, obviously with it being a TRF, is the blue, so obviously it's got the shock towers, the shocks, the steering's all done. But I added these braces, and these are genuine Tamiya. There's the brace front and back. So it comes with, I can't remember if it comes with plastic or metal black ones in the kit. But for me, just being a TRF nerd and a bling nerd, I had to get those on, just for looks only. Let me just get the camera a bit higher. Right, so bear in mind this was a nitro car. So shout out to RC Monster. This is their full electric conversion kit which she got. Which I actually bought this car off Dennis, funny enough. I should have mentioned that. And the e-conversion kit came in a bag and I actually fitted it. Took me about an hour and a half to fit it and take all the bits off that you don't need. Really cool. So you get this motor plate, receiver box, obviously your servo goes here, and then you get this battery tray and straps, and then you get this beautiful machined out motor mount, because the nitro version has all the brake setup here, which obviously we don't need for this. I was just curious, has this got a centre diff? Let me just hold that wheel up. Oh, it had... No, that's stupid. You're moving that. Hang on. No, I can't. Can I do this on camera? Let me just hold that. So, no. Does look like a centre diff, actually. I should have done my research. It's been a while since I've looked at this thing. Look at that suspension travel. Up to the top. And then, obviously, I haven't got this set up. I don't even think, because this is a brand new build, that I didn't build it, it came to me, but it had screws. It had just been built because it had screws not tightened up. There was like work to do on it, so yeah, I don't even think the shocks have got oil in. Just from this side you can see the other TRF bracket. It just makes it look a little bit more TRF-y. And then obviously I had to put a few TRF decals in just to make it look cool. Now what I want to show you, because I have more bling for it, I have these, which are TRF801, and it's called diff rings. Now, Tamiya made these as a hop-up, and from what I've been told and seen, it's one of the rarest parts to get hold of, because there won't be a ton of 801s. They did 801T, which is a truggy version, or truck, whatever you want to call it. So my good friend Bora, who you've probably heard of from Custom RC Parts, that's his logo. Check him out on Facebook. He's a gentleman who makes all the wonderful Tamiya Top Force hop-ups. Anyway, my good friend Duncan, I believe, put the wheels in motion and asked Bora to make these. Duncan actually bought some, and Bora replicated them, anodized them as close as he can get to the Tamiya blue, and it's a little bit darker, but it's not a million miles off. And he now sells these. But the coolest thing about it all is, as a surprise to me, Duncan ordered 2 sets, obviously one for himself, and he ordered me a set and then sent me them, which is just super, super generous. And yeah, it's a quality part. So if you're wondering where that goes, if you see where the prop shaft goes in here, this silver ring here, it replaces that. No idea why, but don't know if it's just a colour thing, or yeah, I've no idea if it's like an upgrade. But if you can imagine, obviously both ends, you don't really see the front end, but that rear, that there, will then replaced with that, and that's going to look pretty darn sexy. But the only thing putting me off is that seems like that's quite a mission to get into these parts to actually change them for these. So yeah, that might be one for a snowed in day, but 100% I'm going to do it. And Duncan, if you're watching, I honestly can't thank you enough. And Bora, they're just the usual, absolute top quality as usual, my friend. Right, let's stick with 2 chassis side by side. So, because these things are that big, you've got to really get that camera well away from these to fit them in the frame. That's incredible. Yeah, very cool. Don't really know why I'm showing you this bit, just to see them both together. Maybe for the similarities of the chassis, you can see everything pretty much goes in the identical place. The drive chains, the substantialness of it, how thick all the arms are, and the drive shafts, prop shafts, and all that, and the gearing, you know, it's that centre box, you know, it's massive. Yeah, that's really the only reason I'm showing you it, I think. I don't think I've got anything else to say, because I've probably, my full knowledge on my car and Dennis's cars, that's it, I've said everything. Just super cool, to be honest. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's on a personal note for me, it's lovely to make videos about things I know nothing about, and just to show you guys and girls, it's so cool. And this little arrangement I have with Dennis and Ken is just perfect for that. And yeah, I kind of really enjoyed the video because it allowed me to dig my TRF801 out, which is obviously normally just in the display cabinets, and just I'm looking at it in front of me now and I'm just like, geez, yeah, that's a hell of a thing. Yeah, the bodies are funny, aren't they, on these? This was 100% for nitro. It's supposed to have a big cutout here for the engine head. This probably, and I don't know this, but I'm guessing the B3.1 probably came in as a nitro version first, maybe, so that was supposed to probably have a big engine hanging out of it somewhere. So the shells are not the best, but they're not too bad, actually. Got to admit, when I picked this car up and then I sat it on here a couple of nights ago, I looked at it and I was like, oh god, that's ugly. But it did grow on me quite quickly. I was like, it's actually not that bad. And funny enough, I had that when I got mine, because I had this professionally painted, but it was like big and bulbous. But they do grow on you, they really do. Anyway, yeah, I think I'll end that video here, so leave in the comments if you've got either of these and if you run them, and should I get this thing running. It's brand new unused, that's the problem. I'd love to run it, but the outlay of that cash for a 1/8 scale brushless motor and speedo, then I've got to get a top heavy duty sort of servo for it, then of course a 4S battery, which are not cheap. I don't know, and even if I did all that, you know, mate, I don't want to put a scratch on it, so I kind of really want to run it, but I don't know. Let's see what the summer of 2023 brings. You never know. I really want to see it running. I really do. Oh, Dennis, you see what you've done, my friend? And yeah, you put a battery in it. Why didn't you give me the transmitter with it? Then I could have had a little toddle round and showed them it running. Come on, Dennis. I know why you didn't do it, because you didn't want me to run it. I get it. I won't want me to run it. Anyway, I'll shut up. So as always, my friends, first of all, thank you, Dennis, and thank you, Ken. And thank you all for clicking on today's video. It's massively appreciated. If you've the first time you come across us, give this video a thumbs up, say hello in the comments, and subscribe if you haven't. That'd be absolutely off the chart. Whew. And as always, my friends, happy RCing.